Good morning and welcome to the OK Grognard Show. It is Saturday, May 30th, 2020, 9:30 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. We're switching off of what we were doing before, and that we're still doing running reviews. We're still doing a sort of DM perspective review of an animated short, shall we say. But as you can see from the opening placard, we're switching over to Conan the Adventurer. We did the first 9 episodes of the Dungeons & Dragons animated series, 9 of 27, so we went through the first disc from the complete series box set, and I thought we'd break it up with something a little different. And Conan the Adventurer ran 2 seasons, 13 episodes in season 1, a total of 65 episodes. It got a very long second season. It ran in 92 and 93, mainly a Canadian production. If you check it out on IMDb, you'll see that the cast was Canadian voiceover actors. Mostly Canadian born. I should point out that Scott McNeil, who does Wrath Amon, is an Australian born Canadian voiceover actor, Canadian actor, Australian born Canadian actor, according to his wiki page. Most of the rest of the rest of the main cast, all Canadian-born Canadian actors. Gary Chalk, who's not in this, who comes in later for 27 of the episodes. One of the ones I recognized from his turn on Stargate. Way back when. Well, this is 92, 93, so his Stargate time would have put him back around the same time. Let me have a quick look down his credits. Well, we can get back to that another time. He's got so many credits that it's just an amazing number. Of course, most of them voiceover credits, but that time on the original Stargate television series. Still looking down. Oh my goodness. It really goes back. Let's see if I can. Stargate SG-1, the early 2000s, 2001, 2006. So just about a decade after the work on Conan the Adventurer, over the course of 5 years, he played Colonel Chekhov, starting off in 2001. 2002 he did a 2-parter, 2003, 2005, and then a handful, 4 of them, in 2006. But yeah, classic actor, very busy. Michael Donovan plays Conan. You look him up, you'll see that he also an outstanding, very busy, did plenty of voiceover work for Star Wars, but a bit for a Star Trek video game, World of Warcraft video game, Resident Evil video game, Elder Scroll, Skyrim video game, Marvel. Did some Marvel stuff. And then some classic remake stuff like Tom and Jerry, where he did the voice of Spike, which I believe was a dog character on there. Incredible Hulk, X-Men, but he's just all over the place. Fantastic Voyages of Sinbad the Sailor. Crazy, crazy busy starting all the way back in late 1980s, 89 mostly. Did something in 86, but I'm not sure if that date's correct. There are plenty of 1989 dates. Hercules, Dragon Warrior. Amazing just how busy this voice actor was, Michael Donovan. Vancouver, British Columbia. That's where he's from. Let's talk a little bit about Conan the Adventurer. The IMDb rating for it, 7.3, which is pretty high. Anything over a 6.5 that has more than 1,000 ratings is going to be pretty decent. And let's face it, the animation on these things, not super complex. They put these things together on a not a high budget, and they put together. I'm sure they got to go on the first season for the 13, and then got to go on a second season, and then put together another 53. So there was a lot of confidence in it after first season aired. This is early 90s, so it's still riding the high of the Conan movies, I'm sure, to some degree. And script's pretty solid. The dialogue, not so bad, right? Those are the kind of things you really have to look for. Stories and dialogue in these things, because that's usually where they fall down when the animation is not super complex. But you know, you're looking at scenery panels, you're looking at characters, you're looking at in the animation stuff that can hold up for a long time. But let's hop right in, and we'll keep it on mute. Nevertheless, we'll check out what we have here. The theme song, pretty simple. Little verse, and then jump to a Conan the Adventurer theme song. Conan the Adventurer, Conan, warrior without fear. He's more powerful than any man whose legend ever crossed the land or sea. And it goes into a sort of a spoken word center verse. Conan, the mightiest warrior ever, his quest to undo the spell of living stone cast upon his family by driving the evil serpent men back into another dimension and vanquishing their leader, the cruel wizard Rathamon. The Night of Fiery Tears was written by Christy Marks. So there's your name for episode 1. The writer, Christy Marks, who 6 episodes. Blood Brother, the next episode, she wrote another couple in 92, and then a couple also in 93. Begins with a younger Conan speaking to his grandfather. He's telling tales of Pontine. A little foreshadowing there. The talking about 10,000 knights. Conan wistfully saying someday I'll be leading the charge of said knights. Something that does come up in the Conan tales later on when he's king of Aquilonia, and Pontine is under the Aquilonian banner along with Bossonia and Gunderland, neighboring minor kingdoms, are all brought underneath King Conan's control. Of course, they've got to bring some kids in. So when we first meet Rathaman, we're greeted to his little buddy, the annoying little talking snake creature. Who I believe is Dregs. Not a bad name. Well, you know, this quote-unquote starstone has fallen from the sky and has been collected by the article Just a Car, Yoda. Both of you popping in, fellas. Yoda Stein, rather. So we get to meet Rathaman. They had collected that starstone. Oh, there's the black ring. This will be key to a lot of what's going on. He's able to open this semi-sizable portal to another dimension where Set, the Stygian god, has been banished. We'll get into that story a little later when the grandfather, or rather the sage later on, fills in Conan on what's going on. But Set's saying, hey, Rathaman, 7 pyramids, we need these rings fashioned from that starstone. Find the starstone, make the rings, put it on top of 7 pyramids. It will open a gate that will allow me to transport back to this world from the other dimension. Well, meanwhile, Conan's father has been hard at work making all sorts of tools and weapons from the starstone, such as no one has ever seen, he says a couple of times, different points. Well, here's a great sword, Conan. How about that? But nope, psych. Nope, you don't get this. I made it for you, but I ain't giving it to you. Because what you're going to do is stick it in this box under this heavy stone, and when you are strong enough to move this top stone on your own, then you will be worthy to carry that stone, or carry the sword. Lord Kasumba is hosting me. Hey, thanks for lurking. They're only 22-minute episodes. So, powerful ring. Still in communication with Set. And now, Conan's father has made all of these cool weapons and tools, and they're having a sort of a market. And here comes this foreign merchant who will give him 4 coins for a dagger made from starstone. And they're not being very secretive of it. About it. Conan, of course, cock of the walk. Hey, what's that I hear? Sounds like some people are abusing a horse. No, the horses belong free out on the plains. So we're just going to cut this one loose and let it go because, damn it, that's just not cool. So off it goes. One of the things I like about the boxed set of the cartoons is the fact that they keep these transitional in and out of commercial bits of animation in there. So you're getting every cell, it would seem, that they made and actually aired. Now, of course, his father helps out, puts down the horse abusers. But you know, that guy that was looking in the background when the foreign merchant bought the dagger has gone to Rathamon and spilled the beans on the fact that there's starstone back in Conan's village. Conan's getting stronger. His grandfather gives him a necklace that he got down in Stygia. Says it's good luck. Ooh, and who's flying in on an air chariot with 2 small dragons, apparently? I guess they're serpent-like. They don't have arms, they only have legs. Are they wyverns, perhaps? He's got a couple of men-at-arms with him, too. Conan's father, not really shook by all this. Not going to kowtow to Rathamon. I know about you. You're a bastard. Yeah, well, I'll destroy your village, he says, if you don't tell me where the starstone is. I want to collect it all. I got some use for it. So, see my power. Smashes a building with power from the stone. Conan, of course, seeing all this, I better go see if I can get that sword. I hope I'm strong enough. Oh, yeah. Don't just slide it off, though. Lift it up, throw it, smash it. Wait a minute. Rathamon tosses a, what is it, like a poison pod? Releases a gas. Father, mother, grandfather, all turned to stone before his very eyes. Poor Conan. Well, it's a good thing he already got the necklace and the sword. Wait a minute, Starstone. Powerful stuff. And when it encounters the 2 men-at-arms, it breaks the spell that had made them look human. Apparently they are snake men from the other dimension. And when he beats them, he can bust up his sword, turn it to fire. He still has an axe. He'll bust that up. But when he actually contacts the snake men, it sends them back to the other dimension whence they came. But he's not done. There's another one. Gotta fight him too. He's a little easier. You'll send him back too. Uh-oh. Wrath of Mon. Now he's afraid of the Star Zone. He's taken off. He ain't having none of this. I'm flying, but wait, no. Conan grabs hold of the chariot. He's hopping on the back. He's not, now he gets to see what Wrath of Mon looks like in his snake form. Humanoid snake, bipedal. But look, his skin and his arms and chest don't look like a snake, just his face. That's interesting. Worth noting. Of course, once you make your enemies snake men and not just regular humans, then destroying them, something you can do, something the censors don't care as much about. You noticed earlier when they were dealing with the horse abusers, they were kind of beating them up. They weren't killing them. Conan, of course, not afraid to swing a sword and pile up the bodies if it's in a war scenario. But about town, dealing with someone who's abusing animals. So off he's got to go. He's got to go find this. Well, you got to go to the big city, right? So he goes out, talks to his pal, the horse. Makes a ride for the big city. Horses don't like big city, though. And this is an interesting thing because as long as the horse refuses to go in the city, then animation-wise, Conan has to walk around inside the city, not be up on a horse. That's an interesting thing to do. But here comes the sage. Let me try to remember his name. I have a quick look in here. Epimetheus the Sage, voiced by Jim Burns. He meets him outside and says, no, you got to go to this particular mountain where you'll see the sign of the phoenix. You got to look for a cave. And when you find that, you'll have the answers you need to help you chase down Wrath of Mon. Okay, there's a sign of the phoenix. Searches for a secret door. Very cool. Can't find it. Leans up against it. Accidentally hits the triggering stone and falls inside the cave. Oh, Conan. Well, what is it? Is it a tomb? Wait a minute. Secret place and there's a torch lit? In he goes. He finds the torch. And then he runs across a four-armed troll. Rock troll, I think they call him. Starts fighting it out. Once again, as long as it's not a human, you can hack to your delight and even destroy such a thing. Chops off a couple of arms, hits it in the head. Smash a rooski. Very nice. Notice the architecture around here? See up in the back corner there, that little corner stone thing, and there's a sconce back there. We're seeing bits of stone, but it kind of looks as if the place had been plastered over, and in places now it's bare, so that's interesting. So the sage he ran to earlier, not real. This time, sees him again, walks right through him. So what's up with this? Well, Epimetheus is dead. This is his tomb. He'd like to help you. He can tell you all about the Snake Men and all about Wrath of Mon and his great temple. And he can also tell you that Epimetheus, along with a bunch of other magic users, wizards, sorcerers, all banded together, used all of their magic in concert, and turned Set and trapped him on that other dimension, whence came all the snake men of Rathamon once upon a time. Now, of course, they didn't get rid of any of the snake men, and Rathamon used his magic to make them all look human so they could continue to exist here. But there's a prediction of Starstone coming, and when that Starstone comes, it will help destroy the black ring of Set, which is used by Rathamon. And if you destroy that, you can help save your father and mother and grandfather from being turned to stone. So there you go. Hey, by the way, I could send my little fella here with you. He's actually a useful little phoenix. Just a baby, though. He's comic relief, don't forget, so he's going to say stupid stuff. But he can aid you. And I know you don't really care for that. Keep him secret, though. Don't want people freaking out. And the way to do that is to just have him hide here in this shield, which you can then carry. Because Conan carrying a shield, that just makes good sense. So now we have a device whereby you can always have some exposition along with you, some knowledgeable exposition, and you'll also have some extra defense against any of the bad guys you run into. Meanwhile, Rathamon, of course, is calling upon Set once again to say, hey, I know where the Starstone stuff is now. It's all over the place. But I know where one powerful piece is, in the form of a sword. Okay, well, go and get that stuff. Break it down, make the rings, top the pyramids, bring me back. So he goes and gets his horsey friend. Can't go in the city, once again. Gonna have to walk in. There are guards all over the place, so you don't want to be. Got his new shield. And, of course, the thing he's supposed to keep secret, who he's been told has an affection for pomegranates, will break away from him and go and try to steal a pomegranate. Conan will excuse it, claiming it's a parrot. Don't look too closely at the magic coming out of its ass. Gotta put it back on my shield. Oh, but who's this? Well, if you're trying to get somewhere, my brother, she says, has a ship. Can you sail? Oh, sure, yeah. Conan pads his resume and says he's also a sailor, not just a Great Plains barbarian, as they say earlier. Well, come on, come get some food, she says. Well, it's the early 90s, and you know if you're going to go get some food with a woman you just met, she's going to drug you, apparently. And her brother, who's been hiding in the antechamber this whole time, comes on out, and the two of them throw him on a Stygian slave ship, where, however, he does meet the first of what will eventually be 4 companions, as we know from the opening credit sequence. But hey, they're reusing a little bit of footage from the market. And from his encounter, cracking the whip, Conan on a slave ship. That's always a groovy thing. But what gives here? Showing a little bit of what's to come in the next episode when he finally gets to Stygia. We get to see that he's got to get in a sword battle with Rathamon. He's got to fight some of his minions. And what is this in the closing credits? Giant spiders, gargoyle demons, helping free his Rowan buddy, fighting some skeleton warriors. Oh yeah, it's all cool. Except for the part wherein his family gets turned to stone. But it's a great device, right? Anytime he fights somebody with his sword who happens to be a snake man, instead of having to chop him up and have blood all over the place, he just gets to send him back to another dimension. There he is fighting from horseback. That'll be good. 1, 2, 3, 4 different buddies. You notice the one in the back right was his rowing partner. So we'll get to see them later in Blood Brothers, the next episode. We've got 7 on this disc, another 6 on the second disc for Season 1. Conan the Adventurer. We will continue with these and get through Season 1 before we do anything other than Conan the Adventurer. So we've got 13 weeks of these, 12 more after this week to check out. For those of you keeping track of what we do each week, easy enough to show you that on Sundays we deal with the rules retrospective. We're going to be continuing with DM Prada, David M. Prada's version 2.2 2006 Advanced Dungeon and Dragon Initiative and Combat document. Sources only go through 1986, so it is indeed a first edition stuff. But it does include stuff from Articles in the Dragon. It does include not just core rule books, but also Unearthed Arcana. A couple of other sources on up through Wilderness Survival Guide. So it's pretty meaty. I think we're about halfway through. We'll continue that tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Then on Monday, the weekly news and giveaway. We'll be talking probably quite a bit this Monday about the upcoming June 29th Harryhausen Day. I will just say that this year would have been Ray Harryhausen's 100th birthday, so it's kind of a special year. He passed in 2013 at the age of 92. Big influence on myself and many gamers because of his stop motion animation. For me, those sword fighting skeletons in the Sinbad and Jason movies, just amazing. Tuesday, cartography and world building. Wednesday, campaign discussion, mostly dealing with Grimwald, my own campaign that I started back in 1974 when I first started playing D&D. Continue on Thursday with the crafting and painting. Still working a bit on the catapults. We'll see how far I can get in between. Hopefully I'll be able to carve out some time and do the bulk of that. I've got some ballista and some doors waiting in the wings to also paint, and I want to get all of that done before too long so we can move on to some actual figures, but those will be the first bunch. Virtual tabletop adventure building on Friday. We talked about the tower that we used over last weekend's Con of Champions, and we can talk some more about a little bit about what else we did for Con of Champions, but it was kind of open-ended, sandboxy, all centering around a tower or a tavern. To start around a tavern, a couple of first level and a couple of fifth level adventures. We can talk about how those went. Those were, like I say, very sandboxy, a lot of fun. No two the same. Good times. And we'll be getting into Jonathan Bingham's map and working a little further along on the Splunging Meeks adventure. So that's going to be coming up too. Either this coming Friday or the Friday after. And then another Conan the Adventurer. Thanks if you're here in the Twitch channel. If you're lurking, be sure to follow the channel and speak up in the stream chat during a live episode, because that means you're automatically added into the weekly drawing that we do on Monday. Lord Gasumba, you know what? I don't think you'd been here this week yet, so we get to add you in, Jay. Oh, you too, Yoda Stein. First visit this week, unless I missed either of you. Todd, I got you in already. So you're all set. Big week, busy week. This is good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13 people that have been here before, that have followed the channel, that have chimed in. So, you know, odds are pretty good. If you want to win this week, we've got a Antonio Banderas DVD of the 13th Warrior in the offing. So we'll be giving that away on Monday to somebody from this week that has chimed in on the stream chat, that is also a follower of the Twitch channel. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, some sort of feedback to let us know what you think of the show. We'll continue to improve as time goes on. I think we're on episode 72. Is it 72 days in a row that we've done episodes? We moved a little while back from 10:30 to 9:30 a.m., so we've trimmed it down. No more super long. We're already past the 30-minute mark, though, so we will quickly say thank you very much. Appreciate every one of you for stopping in, for watching, for taking the time out of your schedule. And that's enough to say. Catch you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Central from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye-bye.